Report story. Izuku started running at the man dodging and weaving the gas. Izuku got in close. The man was ready, however, dodging any punch or kick Izuku threw at him. However, the man was having trouble. This kid didn't rely on his quirk like others did, he had martial arts experience. You can't afford to light the gas up this close, can you? Izuku yelled, still dodging the gas, trying to stay as close to the man as he could. I'm taking you down here and now. Gas lighter will not fall to a mere boy. You may have taken down Overhaul, but now you don't have a quirk to save you. Gaslighter called out, landing a punch on Izuku, sending him flying a bit back. Izuku looked up immediately from the impact, seeing a large stream of flames heading his way. Izuku couldn't dodge this without his quirk. This was it. No, he had to try. Izuku instinctively moved his arm without thinking, aiming a punch for the incoming flames. He punched. A gust of wind blew the flames and the gas away. The flames blew high into the sky, still exploding the leftover gasoline. What? You shouldn't have your quirk. Gaslighter yelled. Izuku looked up at his outstretched arm. It hurt, like hell. But Izuku didn't activate One for All. One for All activated itself. Izuku just moved his arm. Izuku stood slowly. One for All had a kind of consciousness of its own. The drug didn't destroy the quirk itself. It must only block the body's access to the quirk. Meaning the quirk is still there, it just couldn't be manually accessed. However, if the quirk accessed itself, it can still be used. Izuku mumbled. His connection with One for All wasn't perfect yet. Most of his attacks won't activate the quirk. Izuku just had to believe the quirk would activate when needed. Izuku had a fighting chance. How do you keep pushing past all odds? You shouldn't have been able to defeat Overhaul. Gaslighter yelled. However, Gaslighter coughed and readied himself. Don't lose your temper. Quote. Gaslighter said to himself. With a few more snaps, multiple streams of gas came flying at Izuku. Izuku jumped and dodged, avoiding the explosions as best he could. Without One for All though, the streams were too fast. Izuku was getting overwhelmed. One for All wasn't helping with his jumping. A helicopter was now flying overhead, circling the air. The fire and winds must have attracted the law enforcement. Fire was now everywhere due to Gaslighter's gas. Gaslighter looked up at the chopper and then at the gas he had been keeping afloat. He was running out of gasoline in the area. It was time to escape. It's been fun, Deku, but I'ma have to kill you later. You're more stubborn even with you not being able to use your quirk properly than I had hoped. He said. You're not going anywhere, Izuku said, burned all over. But I will. I will get you to. Suddenly a car, flying in midair, slammed into Gaslighter. Izuku watched as the car and Gaslighter flew back. Release. A girl called out. Ocha Uravati. Why are you here? Izuku called out. To save you, obviously. She called, huffing and sweating. She ran all the way here. No, you have to leave. I need to handle this. Izuku yelled. What, because you have One for All? I told you it's my business too. She yelled. That's not the point. He has the quirk destroying drug. Izuku screamed at her. Let that go for 2 seconds. Great. Two of the heroes that beat Overhaul. I'll beat you both. Quote dot. Great. Two of the heroes that beat Overhaul. I'll beat you both. Gaslighter said, leaning on the car that was just chucked at him. Promoted stories. You'll also like. Falling 71.2k 1.3 Kever. Since Izuku Midoriya joined UA High School and settled in, he knew that the League of Villains were after him and his quirk. One for all. However, when the time C. Dreamscape 354K10KYN has been trapped for most of her life, used as a tool for others' gain. Her quirk was fabricated to be used as the perfect weapon, a weapon to help in stealing other. Dot. The paths he chooses. Book 1. A Fate of Few. S. A normal day for Izuku as he completes his normal routine and goes to school. Along the way he runs into Yui Kodai, a quiet and mysterious girl of Class 1B, they E. Golden, Hispanic, Latina. Femme. Reader. Ex Izuku. Heiress to the richest company in the world. The government of Japan has good relationships with your grandfather. It was the duty of the government to save. Villain Deku 11K 260 Izuku was just 14 when he met All Might and asked if he can be a hero, but All Might crushes his dreams and left him on a rooftop. What All Might didn't. Shining Light 42.6k 928 Quickless. Normal. No heroes are quirks, so Izuku Midoriya and Ochako Uraraka have been best friends since kindergarten. But when problems in high school try to drift them Cruelty. X 1.2 M 40.2K. A very hostile girl whom despised everyone and everyone despised her. Izuku Midoriya, a very sweet boy who was popular with his classmates, oddly developed. Ochako. Make a car float. Izuku yelled. Ochako ran at a car and touched it, making it float a few inches of the ground. Izuku ran and grabbed the car in midair. Gas lighter had sent multiple streams of gas and explosions headed their way. Izuku ran in front of Ochako and placed the car in front of himself. The gas and explosions hit the car with massive impact, forcing Izuku to slide back into Ochako a few feet. Ochako. The moment I throw this car, release the zero gravity on it, it will hit him with more impact, okay? Izuku yelled at her over the flames. Okay, but your quirk can do more damage. Use one for all. I can't fully use it right now. Just trust me, Izuku said. Frustration building up. He was happy she had come, but with the thought of losing one for all and their fight still on his mind, along with everything else, this was getting challenging to keep his temper in check. I can't really trust you right now. But fine, I'll wait for your signal. She yelled back, also irritated. Izuku sprinted forward with the car in front of him as a shield. Izuku felt the repeated impact of gas and explosions hit against the car, but he kept running. Stay back, he heard Gas Lighter call out. Clearly he wasn't used to this villain thing. Izuku had closed in, jumping onto the car Ochako had first thrown, and then jumped off of that to get higher in the air. Holding the car up, time slowed. Gas was flying towards Izuku in midair, Izuku starting to bring the car down. Now, Izuku yelled. Release. Ochako yelled, putting her fingers together. The full weight of the car collided with the gas midair. As a last-ditch effort, Gas Lighter lit the gas with a snap, causing the car and the gas to light in midair, blasting Izuku up in the air and knocking Gas Lighter away into an alleyway. Izuku landed on a car next to Ochako. Izuku, she yelled, running towards Izuku, who was laying on the roof of the car. Izuku slowly and painfully climbed off the car. Sirens could be heard in the distance. Izuku looked back at where Gas Lighter had been. He was nowhere to be seen. He then looked at the woman, still unconscious on the ground. She miraculously hadn't been hit. Sighed and sat down against the car. Thanks for coming, Izuku said, not looking at Ochako. Yay. Anytime, she said, also looking away, rubbing her left arm. Suddenly, the police, the pro-hero Mount Lady and an ambulance had arrived on scene. You kids. Why are you kids always where something crazy is happening? Specifically you. Mount Lady said, pointing at the shirtless burned Izuku. Izuku turned away from Mount Lady. This isn't what he needed right now. There's a lady over there. Her car blew up due to the villain's quirk. She needs medical assistance. Izuku directed the paramedics towards. They went to check on the unconscious civilian. You let him get away, didn't you? Mr. Lady asked the green-haired boy. Izuku looked down. Yes, I got hit with a quirk-destroying bullet. There wasn't much I could do. We did our best, Ochako said, fuming a little bit. Mount Lady sighed and grew to huge size, looking around for the villain, after hearing Izuku's description of him. The paramedics said I'm fine. A bit burned, but they'll heal fine. I'm going back to Ua. I need to talk to Aizawa and All Might. I'm his target. You probably are too. We need to come up with a plan to find this guy. Izuku, what about your quirk? What are you gonna do? You can't fight like this. I have to do something. Izuku yelled back, and we need to talk later. Ochako's eyes got big. Talk about wa. But Izuku had already started walking away. Ochako followed behind a bit of a distance away. So, this villain, who calls himself Gaslighter, attacked you while on a run and shot you with a quirk destroying bullet him. Aizawa repeated back to Izuku. Izuku nodded with Ochako standing at the door. He seems to want revenge for Overhaul's defeat. He shot me with this, Izuku said, handing Aizawa the silver bullet. Aizawa inspected it. We can't know just by looking at it, but it's safe to assume this is the non-perfected version. We stopped Overhaul before he had gotten those out. Your quirk should manifest itself soon. But don't get your hopes up, Aizawa said. Izuku looked down at the floor. Reality was setting in. One for all was still there. Whether it was broken or just sitting in his body, it still existed. He should be able to pass it on still, but his dream to be a hero. Was it over if it didn't come back? Aizawa noticed the look on his face. Don't panic yet. Mirio is in the same boat as you and we haven't given up on him. Eri is still in training. In fact, this is a perfect time to bring this up to you. Aizawa said, sitting up. You won't be participating in finding and capturing Gaslighter. Izuku's eyes widened. But sir, don't but me, you can't fight without your quirk. This is a good thing though. Mirio has been watching over Eri for a while now, it's time we gave him a break. Eri, Aizawa called. A little silver-haired girl ran out, super excited. Is it time? Do I get to spend time with Deku now? She squealed, jumping onto Aizawa's lap. That's correct, he said, patting Eri on the head. Midoriya will be watching over you for a few days. Isn't that right, Midoriya? Aizawa looked at Izuku, who had a horrified expression. Not from watching Eri, he loved that idea, but from not being able to participate. But sir, isn't that right, Midoriya? Aizawa said in the same tone, though his eyes were now glowing red. Izuku gulped. Yes sir, I understand. Yay, Eri called out, jumping into Izuku's arms. He smiled at her. I guess we'll be spending a lot of time together, huh? He asked her. Yes, yes, yes. I have a lot of questions. Eri giggled. Midoriya, show Eri to the dorms and to your room. We'll have a spare bed sent to you that you can build her. Uraraka, you stay here. I need to have a word with you. Also, Midoriya, stop by All Might's office. He wants a word with you. Yes, sir, Izuku said, picking up Eri and putting her on his shoulders. Izuku left the room, leaving Ochako and Aizawa. You'll be playing a big part in this, Uraraka. You're supposedly one of the ones this gaslighter is after. Not as big a target as Midoriya is, however. I gave him the responsibility of Eri so Midoriya stays safe inside the building. He has reason not to sneak out now like he tends to think of doing when there's a villain he wants to stop. Ochako sighed. That was good news. Izuku was safe. You're already involved in this and went on the overhaul mission to begin with. I still must ask, would you like to participate? Aizawa asked. Ochako raised her fist. Absolutely, she called. Not surprising. Aizawa chuckled. We are investigating now, be on the lookout for a meeting notification. That's all. Aizawa dismissed her. Ochako walked out the room. Her confident smile fell instantly. Izuku's words were still in her mind. We need to talk later. Ochako closed her eyes and sighed. She started walking towards the dorms. No, she couldn't help it. She turned around and started walking towards All Might's office. So the quirk still activated on its own. All Might asked. Izuku nodded. Apparently the bullet damages its receptors, not the actual quirk. But it's weakened. Very weakened. Izuku said. Eri now sitting in his lap, earbuds in her ear holding Izuku's phone, bobbing up and down. Do you think I would still be able to use it if the receptors stay damaged? Izuku asked, a worried look on his face. Since the quirk wasn't naturally yours, the receptors probably work different than regular quirks. You were born quirkless, so the receptors aren't naturally there for you. One for All must have created artificial receptors. The drug must not be fully affecting you. All Might explained. In theory it is possible. But you know what Aizawa said. You're not going on that battlefield. I know, Izuku said, looking down at Eri. He couldn't sneak to the battle even if he wanted to anyway, with Eri now his responsibility. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Come in, All Might called out. Ochako opened the door. Hi, she said weakly. Izuku looked at her, squinting slightly. Can I, join you? She asked, looking down, her hands behind her back. Of course, I don't see why not. All Might said, using his hand to motion her towards the couch Izuku was on. She walked and sat down, a bit close to Izuku. Is he going to be okay? She asked. We're not sure, but I think he'll find a way through. All Might said. The quirk can still activate on its own, so it's probably the quirk receptors I have, Izuku explained, not looking at her. In theory I can still use it, it'll be hard though. And Eri might be able to bring it back anyway. I think One for All and myself will be okay. Well, that's good. You can continue your dream. Ochako said with a small smile. It didn't last very long though. All Might looked back and forth at the two before getting up. Well, you two. 3. It's getting late and I believe you need to get Eri set up. All Might asked. Yea, I do, Izuku said, picking up Eri and sitting her on his shoulders. Somehow she was able to keep her eyes on the phone the entire time. I can help, Ochako said quietly. Izuku didn't respond and walked out the room. All Might looked at her. He didn't say no, he said. Ochako smiled weakly. I'll help him build it, thank you. She bowed to him and followed Izuku out the room. All Might sighed. Young love, Kenlair here. Lots of events happening at once. I'm really excited for this new arc and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. The Gaslighter arc, Kenny Boy, where stories live. Discover now.